VPs and or trainers, once you have selected your countries to be speaking, please pass it on to the president. Thank you. We need at least 2 countries per block to be reading the position papers. So VPs and or trainers, once you have selected those 2 countries, please inform the president so she can create the speakers list. VPs and trainers, please provide your 2 countries within the next 2 minutes. Nobody wants to read? Nobody wants to read? Huh?
Good day. Good afternoon. Were you asking me a question or not? It's Hans from Central Port of Spain, no? Okay.
Everybody submit? Yeah. Yeah. The quorum delegates, VPs and trainers, please abandon your blocks now. We're going to resume.
We will now proceed into position papers. We would first like to call upon Egypt from the Africa's bloc.
Microphone. No, gonna go by the mic. Microphone. Whichever is easier. If they're closer, they could just go to it. AJ.
Testing 1, 2.
Delegates, you are reminded of a speaking time of 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Good afternoon, Madam Speaker, the General Assembly, all protocols observed. We, the delegation of Egypt, go against the view that transgender bathrooms should be available in all government buildings and tertiary institutions. Changing gender is illegal in our country. As of December 2024, the rights to change our gender according to the Civil Status Law of 1994 has been determined illegal. We do not believe in the need for accepting members of the LGBTQ community as any form of gender-affirming care, a ban, and the implementation of gender bathrooms falls under the umbrella outside of any biological needs for verifiable disorder of sex development. While we believe in human rights, we are Islam, and we do not support that, and we only accept male and female genders. Thank you.
Decorum, delegates. We would like to thank the delegation of Egypt, and now we will call upon Kenya from the Africa's bloc.
Good afternoon. All protocols observed. We, the delegation of Kenya, firmly stand against transgender bathrooms should be available in all buildings and tertiary institutions in each country. So God created humankind in his image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. Those were the words of Genesis 1:27. Are we to dismiss the word of the Lord to conform to the modern ideology of man? For centuries, our world has known only two genders, male and female. This balance and this fulfilled cooperation has proven requisite for societal harmony. The introduction, and the initiation of transgender ideology is a complex theory, one that can disrupt systems, and in addition, one that has proven in the past to spike conflict. I cite an example from the year 2024, when various protesters in the cause of transgender propagation said that their cause was rooted in the fact of holistic development. They wanted to establish transgender facilities. However, their means of enacting and exerting this proved extremely ineffective and dangerous, citing violence and physical altercations. Using this as a reference, we think that
You are out of time. Please have your seat.
So there's something to learn from the past position people that we just heard from Kenya. So Kenya utilized religion in their speech, and only a few countries in the General Assembly is allowed to do this. So countries that have the word Islamic in their name, countries that have very clear religious stances, so like countries like Israel, Afghanistan, they are allowed to use religion in their speeches. Kenya doesn't have strong enough of a religious backing to provide that as the basis of their speech. It's not a criticism, it's a learning lesson. Because some of y'all are going to start by saying your country's speeches for this topic and use religion. However, your country doesn't have enough of a strong stance to use religion. So if you know you're growing up and your country doesn't have a strong backing for religion as their basis in their government, in their political standing, please, you cannot. I would suggest that your trainers get somebody else to speak because it is not a strong stance.
We would like to thank the delegation of Kenya, and now we move on to the European bloc. We would like to call upon Sweden.
Good afternoon, Madam President. We, the delegation of Sweden, would like to reaffirm our recognition with the LGBTQ community, our support to the same-sex marriage in 2008, access to IVF and insemination, and our Gender Recognition Act as of July 1st, 2025. In which it is legally allowed for a person to change their gender without requirements of surgery or sterilization. In conclusion, we agree that the transgender bathroom should be allowed in all government buildings and in tertiary institutions in each country. Currently, we have adopted unisex or gender-neutral restrooms. These facilities are used by people of any gender and can reduce issues related to transgender access. I yield my time back to the chair.
Oh,
Thank you, delegation of Sweden. We will now like to call upon Ukraine.
Good day. We, the delegates of Ukraine, disagree with having trans washrooms in all government buildings and tertiary institutions. However, we accept and support and recognize those who are in the transgender in the LGBTQ plus community. Our laws in human rights and dignity, non-discrimination law, and equality, mental health and safety from the equal rights of church organizations. Acknowledge those of transgender. However, there are challenges and obstacles that we face. We have a limitation on this matter. However, we will support those that want to implement this in their respectful country. Thank you.
Thank you to the delegation of Ukraine. We will now move on to the Americas bloc and call upon Venezuela.
Distinguished Chair, honorable delegates, we, the delegation of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela, reaffirms its commitment to equality, dignity, and respect for all of people. Every individual, regardless of gender identity, deserves safety and inclusion. Venezuela recognizes the access to transgender bathrooms in government buildings and tertiary institutions is an important human rights issue. Venezuelan Constitution of 1999 guarantees equality before the law and protects the fee. Development of Personality Constitution of Venezuela 1999. Internationally, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights and the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR, affirm that every person must be treated equally. OHCHR regionally that in Inter-American Court of Human Rights has recognized the gender identity as a protected right. IACHR 2017, Venezuela supports these principles but emphasizes that implementation must respect each nation's sovereignty, legal framework, and cultural context. Policies on inclusion, such as transgender bathrooms, should be introduced.
Delegate, you are out of time. My apologies. Please have your seat. We will now call upon Mozambique to give their position paper.
Mozambique, Jonathan Powell, you are online. Can you please unmute and read your position paper?
We will repeat. We will now call upon Mozambique to give their position paper.
Sorry, that was the one you just did, ma'am.
Okay, we will now move on to Jamaica.
Good afternoon, Madam President. We, the delegation of Jamaica, acknowledges the importance of protecting the dignity, safety, and equal rights of all citizens in line with our constitutional commitment to fundamental human rights and our international obligations. We support the gradual implementation of policies that ensures access to bathroom facilities for all genders. However, We do recognize the social and cultural sensitivities surrounding gender identity in Jamaica and propose a phased balance approach. Our position emphasizes public education, stakeholder consultation, and infrastructural adaptation, while upholding safety and privacy for all users. Institutions should also adopt clear, respectful policies and that prevent discrimination while maintaining public trust and order. Jamaica proposes and intends to implement a gender neutral bathroom policy in government and tertiary institutions that provides facilities designed for use by all individuals, regardless of sex or gender identity, instead of creating bathrooms exclusively for transgender persons, which may unintentionally isolate or stigmatize them. This model ensures inclusive access for everyone. Thank you. We yield our time to the chair.
We thank the delegation of Jamaica. We will now call upon the Asia Pacific Bloc, Nepal.
Most Honorable Chair, esteemed General Assembly, a society that denies safe spaces to any of its citizens is a society that fails all of its citizens. Today, we stand to ensure that no one, regardless of gender identity, faces discomfort where they should feel welcome. We, the delegation of Nepal, recognize the severity of discrimination against transgender individuals and the barriers they face in accessing safe facilities. We stand firmly that transgender-friendly bathrooms should be available in all government buildings and tertiary institutions, ensuring dignity, safety, and equality for all. It is disheartening that member states such as Russia, Poland, and Hungary deny transgender individuals these basic rights. Nepal believes that every citizen deserves equal access to public facilities, as enshrined in Article 18 of our 2015 Constitution, which guarantees equality and prohibits discrimination on the grounds of gender or sexual orientation. Nepal urges the international community to hold accountable those who fail to uphold human rights. We call upon this assembly to reach a consensus that protects the rights and dignity of all, regardless of gender identity. We stand unwavering. Access to safe facilities is not a privilege. It is a fundamental human right. Let us act decisively, inclusively, and compassionately so that no one is left behind. We, the delegation of Nepal, yield our time to the chair.
Thank you to the delegation of Nepal. We now call upon Cambodia.
Good afternoon, Madam President and General Assembly. We, the delegation of Cambodia, will be touching on a sensitive topic in relation to transgender bathrooms should be available in all government buildings and tertiary institutions in all countries. Cambodia believes same-sex relations are legal. The Rainbow Community Kampuchea, ROC, an organization which has worked for nearly a decade to foster acceptance and equality across the country, has been very instrumental in our development. Che Socha, a commune council member in Praktamac, said before ROC arrived, there was significant discrimination against LGBTQ plus couples due to the lack of understanding about their rights. That's why we, the delegation of Cambodia, firmly stand in agreement to the motion where transgender bathrooms being available in all government and tertiary institutions in all countries should be legal. We pride ourselves on inclusivity, equality of human rights for all. We, the delegation of Cambodia, strongly urges the implementation of bathrooms for those who are of the transgender community in all government buildings and tertiary institutions. Equal access is not optional. It is a human right. Let us act now.
Delegate, you are out of time. Please have your seat. We would like to thank Cambodia. We will now be moving into a period where we'd like to call upon Russia to respond to Nepal.
Good afternoon. We accept Nepal's judgment on us. We do not support transgender or any such form of propaganda in our country. Nepal, we find it funny that you call us out on our stance on LGBTQ and LGBTQ plus banning. Yet, in your workplace, transgendered sex workers face violence and expectations in the workplace. Would you care to expand on this? I yield my time.
Thank you to Russia. We will now call upon Poland to respond to the comments made by Nepal.
Good day, General Assembly. We, the delegation of Poland, believe that in spite of giving people the ability to change their gender, we should not mandate that all institutions of tertiary level or government buildings implement bathrooms for transgender people. There are obvious ramifications to this. Imagine a girl who has transitioned to a boy and a boy who has transitioned to a girl using the same bathroom. We have now in the same communal space people with two different genitalia. This can cause discomfort between parties, and as a government, we believe that we should watch out for the general good of all the people. Thank you. I yield my time.
Thank you to the delegation of Poland. We will now call upon Hungary in response to Nepal.
Good afternoon, all. We, the delegation of Humbly, are wholeheartedly disappointed to see the accusations levied at us today. We might refuse the legal recognition of transgender people, but not because of hatred, ignorance, or any type of goal to demolish human rights, but because of a key issue. Gender identity is a modern concept which is fundamentally flawed. It only serves to promote disastrous drivers against peace, which the UN Assembly is founded to protect against. Mental health, let's look at that. It is a key driver in violence and leads to the destruction of peace. We, the delegation of Hungary, understand that the acceptance of transgender people leads to a 10% higher rate of depression compared to their cisgendered counterparts, as per Harvard study, along with the increased risk of anxiety and suicidality by a CNN study. Please, we implore all of you to move past this modern phenomenon and look at the facts. Promote peace, destroy the drivers of violence, and begin with begin with removing legal recognition of transgender people. Thank you very much.
We thank the delegation of Hungary and now we'll call upon Nepal to respond to the comments made by Russia.
Nepal takes this opportunity to clarify our position. We are a nation that proudly enshrines human rights in our 2015 Constitution, including equality and protection against discrimination on the grounds of gender, sexual orientation, or occupation. Claims by Russia that we discriminate against sex workers are misguided. Our laws ensure that all citizens are entitled to dignity and protection, regardless of status. Meanwhile, Russia itself has been repeatedly criticized by international human rights bodies for violation ranging from suppression of free speech to harsh treatment of the LGBTQIA individuals. Perhaps they should focus on their own record before pointing fingers at others. Poland claims it is looking out for everyone, but not establishing transgender-friendly facilities, yet in practice, it selectively protects citizens, leaving transgender individuals without safe spaces. Nepal believes that true equality cannot pick and choose who deserve rights. Hungary raised concerns about mental health in transgender populations. Nepal agrees mental health is vital, but perhaps Hungary should address the mental health crisis that results from denying safe spaces and basic rights in their own country before lecturing others. Nepal stands unwavering. Our 2015 Constitution guarantees equality and human rights for all. We call upon this assembly to ensure that no nation selectively protects citizens or denies safe, inclusive spaces, and to act decisively, inclusively, and compassionately. We, delegation of the poll, yield our time to the chair.
The session has now come to a close. We will now move into a period of feedback. Thank you, delegates. Sorry, apologies. Feedback from your trainers and your GC.
All right. Round of applause for your first session as countries. A couple minor things. We know that people can get nervous when presenting. If it is you think that you're going to be a bit hesitant to speak or you may have the jitters or whatnot, take a couple seconds to breathe and catch your breath before speaking. We will have a session on public speaking coming up with Toastmasters. I think it's week after. Yeah, week after. So they can always assist when necessary. But this was a very good first attempt at representing your countries and not your personal opinions for a topic. And I want to bring your attention to Nepal and the countries that responded, how quickly you have to be on your feet when you're called out for position papers. Because you don't know when you're going to get called out. But when you are, work with your partner, whoever has to research, who's making the points, make them quickly. So when it's time for you to respond, you're not just, fumbling over yourself and you don't know what to say and you don't know if you're fact checking everything. All right. We don't have as much time for as much in-depth feedback, but yeah. So what you can do now next week, I'm not sure if you'll remember, we will not be having like mock debates and stuff next week because it's a full day of presentations from the partnering bodies for UN, for MUN, sorry. So what you can do, tweak your position papers, liaise with your VPs and trainers, let them review, give you feedback, because going forward, you won't have as much time as a week to get feedback. All right? So the same topic, get your feedback, tweak it up as much as you can, and also practice timing your position papers because a minute and 30 seconds is going to fly by very quickly, as you can see. So you don't want to be caught, like a deer in headlights trying to finish up everything. Okay? Any questions? I see one hand. Yes? Oh. I need a microphone to the front, please. The quorum delegates, let's get some quiet as people have their hands raised. Yes.
Oh, it's on.
Yeah, I can send it in the chat. Hello.
Hi,
It's on, yeah.
yeah, I was just wondering, so this same topic, we're going to do a mock debate the week after the next.
Probably not. It'll be a surprise.
So it's going to be a different topic?
Yeah.
So are we tweaking these position papers?
Keep it for review because the points that your VPs and traders may raise can also assist you to your future position papers. All right. It's also like a kind of study guide for you to see where you would have started at and where you reach when you get to the final mock debates. Yeah.
So in the actual Model UN,
Mhm.
we only have about 5 minutes to do our position papers?
No, you'll know it, but you know your topic from way before. The theme of the final debates is peace and human rights. So from all now, you should be researching and putting little points on maybe a paper or Google Doc, whatever the case is, and practice from there. So as you fine tune from this one, you know how to properly put it together for the final debates.
Okay, so this is just like a practice.
Yes, correct. Yeah, practice.
So there's not like, we won't get a topic like a motion for the final Model UN. We would just have to speak on peace and human
Peace and human rights, correct. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes, Vivica? Right here. Pass the mic down, guys.
I was just it might be like a little silly question, but are we keeping this or we giving this back to you?
You can keep it.
Oh.
Yeah. Keep it safe. If you want to make a new one, you can make a new one. Yeah. 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 All right. One more thing. Hold on. You guys, wait. Going forward, we will be beginning each training session, at least when we have the day of training, with rule call. So make sure and walk with your placards. And what do we say when your name is called, your country? What? Lovely. All right. So keep that in mind as well for the online participants. When your country is called, the response is present and voting. All right. If there's any more feedback from any other persons, yes, I know it's 3 o'clock, but keep this in mind. We do not have any mock debates practice next week. It's just a full day of presentation. So liaise with your VPs, trainers who are present if they have the time today. Okay. Thank you. Hi, yeah.
The quorum delegates, a moment of your time, please. Just a note to all that we have created the group chats for each individual block, so you should be able to access it from the general MUN group chat. Be sure to join your group chat. If you do not belong to a block, please do not request to join that group chat. You are only allowed to join the group chat for your block. Is that clear? Thank you. And one other thing, delegates, just a piece of advice, please research your topic properly before you are going to give a stance on it. Based on the topic today, how many delegations know that LGBTQ is criminalized in their countries? Because we had member states standing up to support the motion and it's criminalized in their countries. So please be aware of everything. And I know you're short for time, but please, the first thing you should do when you are giving a stance on a topic is seeing if it's legal in your country. Thank you.